Hey everybody, today is October the 13th, 2014, and I want to take a look at the markets here. So you can see the last video I did, I think it was titled Short S&P, Shorting Google. I think the premise was both of those are probably going to drop, and based on, again, of course, our rules. And you can see today, I'm looking at a weekly chart here. Of the S&P 500, and let me drop down and go to a daily. You can see this is the S&P today, right? Big drop on the S&P. I think the Dow was down 200 and something points. S&P down like 30 points. So I'm looking at the S&P 500. You can see a big drop. On Friday, we were just at the support level. Some people, would have thought that there would be some support here. You can see just hard dropping. So the question becomes now, where does this market go from here? Where can we reasonably expect it to possibly start resting? And that's kind of a difficult thing because when you look at the weekly, there really isn't much, right? Basically, what we've seen here is that this market was following this trend line for the better part of a year, and now it's broken it. So there really isn't any noticeable support that we've seen in the last year, really. I mean, you've got this right here, which it's basically at, looks like it might continue breaking it. There's nothing that's real significant. There's these little minor resistance points right here, maybe this area. There really isn't anything really like telling us, watch this area for support, right? When you look at a monthly chart, which is a much bigger perspective, I see much more significant support around here, but that's a ways off, right? Now, could we see this thing drop really that hard that quickly? I don't think so. I think if this is going to happen, it's going to happen over the course of a few months. So from the daily perspective, what do I see in terms of an area where this could pause? It's hard to say right now. I mean, there's an area of support here, which but it's breaking through that right now. So the next area would be around here, which is a little bit lower. So what am I really getting at here? Well, personally, what I'm getting at is don't get long right now. There's no reason to get long. These are long, bearish, ugly looking candles. And we don't have, at least from my end, I see no reason for this market to want to stop doing this until we see selling and then a rebound on that same day that looks like it's sort of reversing. I am not getting in the way of this. Okay, so from my end, just watch this carefully. Now, at some point, we're probably going to see some sort of bounce, and what I would look for is a shorting opportunity on that bounce, believe it or not. So you can see here, again, looking back, right? All the support, right? And then the breaking of it. Essentially what I would look for, let me redraw that again. Essentially what I would look for, I think it's from around here, yeah. What I would look for is a retrace into this level. So at some point, we're probably going to see a bounce. And if it does, I'm probably going to be looking to sell any rebounce back, looking for a move down. The trend's been broken. It's significantly broken, and I don't expect it to just continue its way up anytime soon. So keep an eye on that very closely. I would not get long if I am looking for any long opportunities right now. I just don't think it's the right thing to do. All right, looking at Google continuing, I think that there is a high chance we're going to hit 520 very quickly. Keep an eye on that. Those of you who are in that option trade, congratulations. Keep holding on to that. I think we'll see this in the coming week. We could even see it this week. So it's at 545 right now. Looks good. Okay. GoPro, another one that we've been keeping an eye on. We had a shorting opportunity there a couple of days ago. This one looks really interesting. You can see the double top fell, breaking down like another 10% today. The area I'm going to be looking for very closely here is from this swing low here to this swing high. So if GoPro manages to get in the range of 60 to 67, it'll be somewhat of an aggressive trade because we don't have any previous resistance here. But if it gets into this level, this might be an opportunity to buy for a bounce. It's an aggressive trade, but we could buy it with a bounce, look for a $10 upside move. That might be an interesting trade on the options end too. We'll have to look at that options chain. But that's something I'm looking at. Apple has an upcoming event this coming week. Surprisingly, while most of the market's been falling really hard, Apple's kind of been consolidating here. Keep an eye here, though, because if Apple starts to drop down, there might be an opportunity to buy it down in this $80 to $88 range. So it's been consolidating in this range for a while. It's been about, I don't know, a month and change now. This is a weekly chart. If this thing starts to break through here, break through this little consolidation area, this kind of flag, if it breaks through to the downside, there might be an opportunity. If it breaks up, the other thing is what happens if it breaks up. If it breaks up, in my opinion, you get long right away. So a couple of weeks ago, or about a couple of months ago, I said a break and above here, there's a 70% chance it's going to hit the 127 extension. I still believe that there's a 70% chance that it's going to hit the 127. What I don't say is when that's going to happen, right? I don't think we're going to see any significant drop at like a retest of 50s before that happens. I think if it drops, it's going to be a minor drop, as I said, into the 80s and then back up. If that doesn't happen and it starts to move back up, I'm a buyer right away. So overall, I still continue to stay bullish on that. All right. One quick thing before we wrap up. We are on ratio trading now. We're allowing those of you who watch this to support these videos for $3 a month. There are also other options in there where you can pay a little bit more and get other things. Like, for example, for $60 a month, you get email support. So I'll answer emails on a daily basis. And there are a couple other ones in there with limited availability. So if you're interested in checking that out, just go to ratio trading and click on that top banner there. All right. Hope that helps, and you guys have good trading.